Liberty Flames Sports Network's coverage continues Flames football fall camp. My name is Nick Pearson. Pleasure now to be joined by the head coach, Turner Gill, after another edition of Practice in Full Pads. Coach, first of all, we've been really blessed with some really great weather out here. Another overcast, not too hot day out here. Could you have scripted this any better the way it's been the first week?
Turn up the heat a little bit more because we're going to have some of those type of games that's going to come up. But again, we have been blessed with the opportunity to taking care of our players from the standpoint of the little bit of cloudiness and not too hot. So it's been great for that situation. So it'll turn up here soon. But our guys are doing well prepared. I think Coach Gillespie did a great job in our summer. Our guys are really conditioning very, very well.
Yeah, I think normally we see guys over there looking for a cold tub to jump into or something under the tent. But weekend, what do you really like about your team so far?
I think the thing that stands out so far is the leadership. I think we have very good leaders comparable to last year. That's what I'm comparing it to. At this same time, I think this leadership is very, very good. The guys are knowing what to do. They're talking a lot of football. They're encouraging each other, but also being demanding about what needs to get done and how it needs to be get done in the right way. And so when you have good leadership, I think some great things can happen for you game after game and month after month.
A lot of leadership on the defensive line as well. A lot of guys that have potential to be playmakers.
Well, I think the D-line is probably one of our strengths. We have pretty good depth there and some quality players. And I think one guy that's kind of came out of nowhere from last year is Dominique Davis has probably stepped up pretty good and thinking that he's going to do some great things for us. And then we got the rest of our guys there. And, of course, Ball and Freeman and Real Fuel. Fuel is probably another guy who's really improved from last spring as playing our nose tackle.
Noticed a few guys walking around, little dings and injuries and stuff. Overall, health-wise, how is the team right now?
Well, I think overall you're going to have bumps and bruises and guys we're going to hold out when they have something going on there. We just got to continue to evaluate and see where they're at. I don't see anything at this point in time where anybody that started out is going to miss the first ball game, but we got to get some x-rays and some evaluation on some guys here hopefully in the next 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, one of those guys, John Lunsford, he battled some injuries last year. Expecting him to be good for the first game?
Well, I expect so. He had a little bit of a bump on his foot, and so we got to get that x-rayed and evaluate and kind of see where it is here in the next 2 or 3 days.
Over the next 2 or 3 days, you're also getting your team ready for its first scrimmage here on Saturday at Williams Stadium. What are the things that you want to implement between now and then?
Well, I think the biggest thing, we're trying to implement all of our different things that we want to do offensively and defensively, adding a few more blitzes on the defensive side, and then we're also trying to add a few little wrinkles that we may want to incorporate overall in the whole game and whole season. And so we're just trying to see what we want to keep, what we want to delete as far as being successful from offense, defense, and special teams. So we'll just kind of see how it all goes, and we'll get our first action when everybody's off to the sideline and see how some young guys can come out and produce and see can they help us.
It's the time of year where you start to implement some of those trick plays here and there. You talk about a few little wrinkles.
Yeah, you do all those things. You implement those there, and then just some things are different formations, your different scheme or blitz or something that you may want to try and look at, and this is the time that you can do it. And like I said, sometimes you keep them and sometimes you get rid of them.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot for the time, and look forward to catching up with you again this week.
All righty, thank you, and go Flames.
That's the head coach, Turner Gill. My name is Nick Pierce for the Liberty Flames Sports Network.